Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome back to my Pixel Quest, where we're continuing our blind playthrough of Ace Attorney Investigations. And something interesting is about to happen. We've just basically laid out our thoughts about how this kidnapping slash potentially unintended murder took place. We've accused the accused. And now we've hit a slight snag, I suppose, but somebody is interjecting. Mr. Amano, please take center stage, will you? And help us out. Ho ho ho, Miles my boy. Sorry, just shifting the microphone. Ho ho ho, ho ho. Probably more like that. Miles, my boy, it looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others. This guy is so inauthentic. Dad. Let's see. You are the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh, do you now? Is that what I think it is? It's the Bad Badger costume the victim was wearing, and a gun. So this has been fished out of the river. Haha. And this is the gun that she threw away. There's the fake gun on the costume, or I should say, the not fake gun, the very real gun that fires blanks around children, but in addition, there's also the very real gun that fires bullets. I mean, it's an interesting detail that there's a piece of glass inside the head as well. Or is that meant to be water? It's probably water. It looks like glass, right? It looks like glass. I'm just looking at the shine on it compared to the rest of the water. That looks like glass. That's glass. I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears that they were disposed of in the sea. Is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law? There. Now. Agent Lang, please calm down. What the heck is that scrap of paper? This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Amano complete freedom to do as he sees fit. Excuse me? Yeah, that was my reaction, Edgeworth. What? The Chief of Police? What the? Just who does he think he is? The person who wields the highest authority in this area. There. Now. There is no need to be so upset. He's a slow talker, this one. I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country. Now. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything. It's just a request. I am only asking that you please respect the laws of the land. I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand, it doesn't matter who found the evidence. Its value remains unchanged. I mean... Oh man, there's so much... There's so much going on here. We're just gonna have to let the chaos play out, of course. That's the nature of these games, but like it is clearly so odd. Everything about this father is clearly so extremely odd. Like even his reaction to what, if he were a genuine person, even his reaction to what he's hearing, about his son, the way he's clearly intervening to throw his son under the bus, which makes sense to me with my theory about him, but it shouldn't necessarily make sense to these people. Anyway, let's just roll with it. All right, now, let's take a look at this new evidence. That's what I want to do too. I've already got the results. I've already got the results back. You what? I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the test. All right. This guy is sounding more and more like the major player behind, possibly everything that is going on in this whole game, because this is an extremely powerful guy, a huge liar, a huge faker, who has the whole policing system and potentially Interpol wrapped around his finger. And knew Daddy Von Karma, who was a very bad person. So, They verified that the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren. Oh. What? You disappoint me, Miles. I mean, she did say that it was her gun. But I mean, surely if somebody fired this gun in a costume, it's not gonna... Also, yeah, what fingerprints? I guess, alright, I guess there's nothing strange about the fact that she had their gun in her actual human hands, not her costume hands, or not only her costume hands, but if a murder took place among people in costume, and I still don't know that was the case, but if it did, it's not going to affect, it's unlikely to affect fingerprints, is it? You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. What? You're bringing evidence that... What? Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around. Okay, sorry. Okay, I misunderstood this situation. I thought he really was throwing his son under the bus. No, he's trying to throw Lauren under the bus. Okay. But no, dude, we're absolutely going to get in with this. Do you not know who we are? You've just helped us out. But okay, that's it? These are the case-making pieces of evidence? Ha, I'll be the judge of that. Thank you, Edgeworth. Thank you, Edgeworth, for your confidence in this situation. Let's look straight at the bullet hole. This bullet hole, it looks kind of burnt around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder, so that means that the gun was close to the body when it was fired, because I have played many of these games and I've learned a thing or two about those marks. Why is that? Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point blank range. Cool. So, I mean, that also means that this shooting supposedly on the stage was not this shooting. Anyway. Also because we know that wasn't the Bad Badger costume. Well, it didn't involve the bottom half of the Bad Badger costume at all. It was only the head, and also the one who was shot was Lauren, who was in the just the regular blue Badger costume, I think. Let's check out the gun. Could the gun be the actual murder weapon? Used to kill Deacon, was originally stolen from guard by victim during escape. From guard? That's kind of weird. Can I look at its little feet? Its little wet feet? We're not gonna look at the fake gun. Alright, let me look at this piece of glass. What's this? It looks like there's something inside the costume head. That's a bit of mirror. That's the mirror. It's either a mirror from the... Okay, so it's either a mirror from the House of Wonders, the Magic House, House of Horrors fun house, whatever that one is. House of Mirrors, maybe. Maybe it's got the House of Mirrors, I've forgotten. Or it's actually most likely, it's probably, well, I say probably, but there were broken mirrors in both locations. But it could also be, let's say, from the isolation room where there's a broken mirror. Hey, they're sparkly, but they're really valuable. Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they in here? Oh, that's it? Oh, okay, I thought we would get to look more. Well, are these not the most definitive pieces of evidence you've ever seen? Dude, we've been in this, all of us have been in this job for a really long time. It's not even close. Thank you, Dad. There should be enough to convince Mr. Edgeworth over there. Decisive evidence. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun. And they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life. So Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense. Whoa. Look at the twisting and turning he's trying to do here. He is trying to accuse her, but also pivot to look like he's trying to defend her as well. The fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no, this isn't helpful at all. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes. That may be all you can do, however, I still have a case to solve and a job to do. Yeah. The job of unraveling your insidious lie. You wound me. Why won't you believe me, even in the face of all this evidence? Alright, make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun. Wow, this is such a club mix. Those fingerprints, I was just listening to the song. Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Porps? There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensics techniques money can buy performed. So, sorry, you bought them? I thought that he used forensics, you know, like he used police forensics. But you bought private sector forensics and we're supposed to just take that on board right now standing here. I find that to be a bit peculiar. What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Raise a damn objection! Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Porp's prints should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why Miss Porp's prints should not be on that gun is... Oh, actually I have no idea. Is it the costume? Hang on. We've got a new thing. Let's have a look at our new thing. It's got a little horse on it. Does it have a little horse on it because it's Pegasus related? And it was Oliver's gun? They found Miss Porp's fingerprints on this gun. Can you let me hold it for a sec? I shouldn't if you don't know how to handle it. Besides, Miss Porp's prints are on it. Look, I'm wearing gloves. It'll be okay. I just want to take a look, that's all. It's not like I'm going to run off with it. The only things I don't return are treasures. Stealing either one would land you in jail, you know. This is great music, though. I love anything that has this kind of you know, string swell in it. I mean, I don't know if that's a swell. I don't know music terms. I'm just, you know, I'm just going with a vibe. All right, I don't think there's anything else to look at. I don't know. If I assume that maybe there's an empty chamber in there we can't see, so we can't really get a bullet count. Alright, that's that. And then we've got mirror fragments, but we can't look at them. So, this is Deacon's gun. It should have Deacon's fingerprints on it. It's his Pegasus gun. But what I'm grappling with is what's the evidence What's the evidence that it couldn't have Lauren's fingerprints on it? Alright, I got some thinking. Do I have any more profiles I haven't looked at? No, that's it. Is it to do, so there's so many angles. There's so many angles here. It could be something to do with her hands in the costume. I don't think so, because none of that seems conclusive. I mean, she said that she had a gun. And this gun was taken from the river. She said that she had a gun that she threw into the river. And this was taken from the river. So, I don't know how it's not potentially her gun, but yeah. So what's her argument? I mean, we know that, like, obviously we can make a case that this could be Colin's gun, Colin/Oliver's gun. He stole the gun. He stole a gun from a guard. Hang on. Used to kill Deacon was originally stolen from guard by victim during escape. Yeah, it says that. Is that fact alone anything to do with our argument? You know, the fact that this is Deacon's gun. Hang on. What I was wondering about before is, like, there's this little, well, alright, it's just a horse, isn't it? It's not a Pegasus. This is just a horse. Is it just a coincidence? Because I do have this sneaking suspicion that we might have seen a little horse on guns before in this game. Maybe that's just a gun design. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know this one. Guys, this is going to be one of those ones where I'm really looking in the dark. You know, we have a lot to do with badges and the type of badges and what was where. But what could say that her prints should not be on the gun? This is what I can't think of. All right, this is our new evidence. Let me hang on this for a sec. The fact that the costume, here's the other thing. This guy, Mr. Romano, fished this costume out of the river, fished the gun out of the river. Were they right next to each other? Because like that, you know, that was not her costume. This costume is the victim's costume. This gun is the victim's gun. But I don't know if none of that is like evidence for the fact that this shouldn't be. I'm just gonna do the gun. I'm just gonna try it. No. Wow. With this piece of evidence. Which piece is that? Look here, this is what I speak of. Your logic is so hard to follow that you should provide a map. Nah. Even if she did it, there is something specific that makes it impossible to leave prints. Okay, thank you, Edgeworth. Thank you for the hint. In that case... Well, now I can't remember how we got there. Was it this one? Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Porps? There's no mistake. Okay, so we are talking about the costume. But she could have taken the costume off at any point, right? Like... So what are we actually presenting then? This?
Take that!
Okay, alright. This doesn't seem... Yeah, I don't know, this just doesn't seem like Like, yes, she was in a costume at various points, but she might have been out of a costume at some point as well. You know, if indeed she had fired this gun to kill Oliver / Colin, then her testimony would be full of lies anyway. It's simply not possible for Miss Porps to have left any prints on the murder weapon, because while she was at the stadium, Miss Porps was wearing a costume. Huh? But there's been no mistake. We found fingerprints. Well, Miss Porps, do you remember touching the gun at any time? But now we're just asking her, and if she were the person who had left prints, she has a very good reason to lie about this. Ah, yes, as a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house. To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is when Miss Porps' prints found their way onto the gun. So now we're saying her prints are on the gun. I agree with you, Ernest. Like, this is kind of frustrating. Do you understand now, Mr. Romano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Porps is the murderer. So before you were saying that you just had me so concerned about what evidence could say that her prints shouldn't be on there. And in the end, we're just saying, oh yeah, they were on there, but for a totally understandable reason. Like, Edgeworth, help me. This is hard enough without things like this. You still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer. Oh, Lance. Yeah, what do you think about this? What do you think about this, Lauren? What? No way. I'm incredibly worried about her. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right? That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence. What? How? The story that Miss Porps killed the victim at the stage in the stadium, the whole affair is simply not true, because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. Well, that must be this.
Take that!
This piece of evidence proves that the real crime scene is not, in fact, the stadium. Mr. Prosecutor, I'd have to rate that piece of logic as 0. Oh, crap. Oh, no. I did jump on that one without thinking. 0? It's at least a 6.8 out of 10. At this rate, Lolly is going to wind up getting arrested. I must remain calm and think clearly. If the murder did not happen at the stadium, then the scenario where the victim was up on the stage and Miss Porps was down below, there must be something that invalidates it. Oh, okay, then it's the angle. Hang on, what did he just say? Then the scenario where the victim was up on the stage and Miss Porps was down below. Yeah, but that was the person up above shooting Miss Porps, wasn't it? Didn't she got sort of shot with the blank then? But if they were arguing that in fact it was the other way around and that it was Miss Porps shooting Mr. Deacon who was up on the stage, then the angle is actually correct. No. Alright, sorry. Then it's the... But we don't have the costume. I don't have the costume as evidence. I was going to say it's the isn't it the costume with the gunshot wound, you know, in the costume that shows that it was shot at point blank? But I don't have that evidence. So is it something, is it implies that there should be evidence of blood at the real murder site. I'm just thinking about this as well, like, How... The fact that this guy was shot from below, and, you know, we know that this wasn't the stage scene. If it was originally... If it was, you know, kind of their hideout... If it was their hideout, then it could be... I'm just trying to picture how this could have... Like, how the timing could have worked. But what I'm thinking is that it could be that Lance shot him. Lance was climbing down one of the trapdoors and shot Deacon, who was still up above.
Take that!
I'm just going to try this. Nope. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, I've only got 2 more goes at this before I get all of my goes back. So that's fine. But, you know, I will have to just take the humiliation of going through the game over scene. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. All right, let's just... So it's not this. We tried this. Is it the gun? Is it the Badgermobile? No. Is it... Man, I really expected in this game that we were going to get to see any of the other Badgermobiles. I'm just thinking now. But no. And I remember I was originally thinking that it was like somebody was under the Badgermobile, you know, and shot above. But no, it didn't even take place here. What could prove that the real murder was not did not take place at the stadium? I mean, I think we've got lots of sort of bits of... Oh! I was like, they haven't given us the costume evidence. It's just wrapped up into this one now. Okay. I was so sure I was right about that. I was like, that's the correct evidence, but we don't have it. Let us take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. I feel so validated. Then I believe you will see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it. I wish they had made that clearer by... I mean, I should have just taken notice, because I'm sure that they put right center in the screen that this evidence was being changed at some point, but I wish that the image was changed to make it a little clearer. Well, it's the gunshot wound. The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point blank range. Aha! So then, you mean the murder Ms. Oldbag saw at the stadium really was... Yes, she saw 2 people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn. Ah! Look at you, Mr. Smutty Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then? Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. Oh, he did. Yes, he did indeed do that. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was imprisoned was... Hang on, I didn't properly read that. Lance sent me if that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. Yeah. And the location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was imprisoned was... Okay, so I wasn't sure if it was going to turn out to be the... the House of Mirrors, or it was going to turn out to be the Wild Wild West hideout. But I've got it. I know the real scene of the murder. The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed is here. It's the hotel. It's the boat. It's the dock. It's the Ferris wheel. I mean, to me it seemed like this logically because like what I'm having trouble. Miss Deacon said, Miss Deacon said, Lauren said that these two got into a fight, and it was here, right? They got into a fight. I find it hard to believe that this wasn't the point at which he was killed, when they had a fight together. So I thought here, and that would also make sense why the body was here and it wasn't transported anywhere or anything like that. I know that it was meant to be that both of them went to the haunted house to deal with me, but yeah, but I don't think both of them went there. I think it's here. I think it's here.
Take that!
The real scene of the murder was here in the Wild Wild West area. The place where you and I first met, huh? But didn't you already check there? I know I did, and there wasn't a single sign that someone had been killed there. Oh, yes, well, I suppose there wasn't. The murder took place before I was imprisoned. And the only place where the victim and Lance were together alone. Well, like, I don't really know exactly what she did after they fought. Alright, so then it's here.
Take that!
I think it's not unreasonable to assume that the murder took place in the haunted house. The haunted house? Yes, and I have proof that it is highly likely that the victim was killed there. What proves that the real scene of the crime was the haunted house? I don't think this proves anything, Miles. First off, because I think that, I don't know, again, I think that our conjecture here is a little thin, but also there was literally the exact same type of mirror was also in the hideout. You know, I mean, maybe the mirror was brought there after the kidnapping, but why? Why would you? Why? I don't know. But anyway, this mirror was also in the hideout. As far as we know, you know? These were inside the costume the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror. A mirror? And what does that have to do with anything? Indeed, you don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume. Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous. However, there is one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments, and that is the haunted house. Lance Amano, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with the revolver in the haunted house. Nice, nice Edgeworth, nice. Gotta respect the Clue reference there. After that, you stole the Blue Badgermobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badgermobile was stolen confirms this as a fact. Sweat, sweat, sweat. Miles, my boy, say no more. I'm sorry, Mr. Amano, but I cannot do that. Be quiet. Yes, please do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense. Ernest Amano, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps. Ooh. It's always an exciting moment in these games when the prosecutors turn on their own. I mean, not that this is this guy's client or anything like that, but you know, when they kind of shift their priorities from assisting somebody to towards the truth. So, I mean, I don't like this guy at all, and I don't think he's a good guy, but at the same time, I suppose, you know, he has his own set of priorities, and I guess it's not this guy. This guy is not his priority. How dare you? I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. What? Shiner, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout? Yes, there was a mirror there. I mean, thank you. Somebody said it. A mirror that's for the haunted house. A mirror that's for the haunted house? A mirror that's for the haunted house. Okay. You see, isn't it possible the fragments got into the costume there? But Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low. We are really making a case based on that's... Our whole case, Edgeworth, is really hanging on a lot of probability. He's right to do this. We need to be challenged. Langsy says, on truth's path, the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is do you have the definitive proof you need? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you? Do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? Do I have something? We still have the angle to contend with, and even though I had an explanation for that angle at the hideout, but I don't think I have an explanation for this angle at the haunted house because we know so little about the haunted house. I only saw it at the very beginning of the game. You know, there's a table that has some dinner plates and some forks and knives on it, and I counted them. There's some spooky pictures of girls and mothers, and some mirrors and some swords and a knight costume. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know about the angle, but do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? You know what? I don't know. Let's just move forward. The answer is no. Okay, good. I'm glad I didn't spend too much time on that then. See? So since you don't have any, shut up. Mean. I don't have the evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. All right, so we got that creepy picture. Bunch of things on the wall that are just sort of old-timey things. Old-timey rich person things. Table. There's very little verticality here, unless Deacon was standing on the table here. At that time, the only people at the haunted house, besides myself, were Lance and Mr. Deacon. I mean, is the haunted house so small that you can be so sure of that? Is it just like a hallway in this room? If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder. Sometimes when I'm talking a lot, it makes me yawn. It's a weird thing. I think it's just something to do with like air intake or something. Anyway, what now, Mr. Edgeworth? Agent Lang, I have a special request. Yeah? I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house. Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission? Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth. Alright, permission granted. Oh, that was easy. But you're not to touch a single thing, got it? That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is. As long as it is. Shiner, I'm here. Put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately. Understood. I'll go get the Gateway Group's approval. Sorry? Who was that? Yeah. That's what I'm wondering. And what is that guy taking a photo of in the corner there? In the top right-hand corner, he's just taking one long photo of tiles. Or maybe he's seen a bug. Maybe there's a nice snail or something like that. No. Let's hold on for a second. There is no need to obtain approval. Mr. Amano? Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this. What is this guy doing? What is this? Shiner? It's the deed to the haunted house. The deed? This is a theme park. The deed? Read it out loud. Gatewaterland Inc. hereby bequeaths the property known as the Haunted House to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million paid in full in cash. I've put my controller down. So that I could use both of my hands to put them on my hips. What? Hang on, this guy paid $1 million in cash. This guy paid the kidnapper ransom. Did he just buy this? What? As you can see, I am now the legal owner of the haunted house. Are you kidding? When did you... I ran into the owner of the park earlier and we made the deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye. That $1 million you paid. Don't tell me it was... Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now. You used the ransom money? My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are. So if you would please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What is there to discuss? Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course. While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Amano was out there preempting us. Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. So, okay, hang on a sec. Sorry, but... Alright, fair enough that this guy has just done an insane thing and gone and bought a haunted house inside a theme park, which is not... Alright, I'm not even going to get started on like, you know, planning schemes and subdivision and those sort of matters here. But to cut to the chase, like, the fact that this guy... Like, this is a murder investigation. They are the police. In fact, they are the police and also Interpol. They don't need... I mean, do they... They seem to be implying themselves that they need it, so I have to accept it. But, like, why do they need someone's permission? You know, like, don't you just get a warrant for this? And there's plenty of... Gumshoe, go get a warrant. Go get a warrant. It shouldn't be hard. You can't just private property your way out of a murder investigation. Just get a warrant. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest the girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper. Mr. Amano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. Yeah, except you guys are the police. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever. Just get a warrant, you're the police. To be continued. To be continued with our police warrant. This, you can't, Mr. Amano. You can't do this. It's crazy. You guys, there's at least 3 people here who should have the idea to go and get a warrant. Like, what on earth? If I can't get permission to investigate the crime scene, then the truth will be lost. Who's holding it? Holding it. Who's holding it? Me. Hold it. Okay? Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing spacing out? Have you forgotten? There's only one thing you should do at a time like this. Get a warrant! Get a warrant! That's what I'm saying. And what is that? When the people are in a bind, the hero of justice appears to save the day.
I like the way that you can read that in two ways. You know, he appears, he comes out of nowhere and exists and is visible in order to save the day. Or it's just the hero of justice seems to save the day. Look, you just leave it to me. For I am Kay Faraday, the second of the great Yatagarasu. But I thought you were a thief, not a hero. The Yatagarasu is noble and is always a thief of justice. I mean, you know, Edgeworth has a pretty limited idea about the way that the world works. You know, of course, a thief, of course, people working outside of the system of laws can be entities of justice. That's, of course. If we have enough information, I can recreate the inside of the haunted house with this. Okay. But the first part is if we have enough information, and the thing is that we don't have any information about the state of the house as it is now. so like, what information are we going to put in? Plus, if we then factor in everyone's testimony, you can recreate exactly what happened when I dropped off the ransom money. I don't know. Look, obviously this is going somewhere. Obviously this is going to work in some way. It's just like, we could also just get into the house with a warrant. We may be able to figure out some new information through this. It's worth a try. Yes, we may be able to. Agent Lang. So you want to use your little toy? Be my guest. Okay, hang on. You're all about to witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. Detective Gumshoe. If she is calling herself a Robin Hood, then, like the specific, I suppose, dynamic of Robin Hood is to take from the rich and give to the poor. And she is definitely targeting, the corporate injustices. But I'm just wondering, what the giving to the poor is. Is it just giving, making evidence public? I mean, which is fine. But I just wonder if there's another element to it. Is there a copy of the haunted house's blueprint among the police's reference documents? Yes, sir. We got it just in case we needed it for the kidnapping case. All right, I'll input the haunted house data then. Boop, boop. Three presses on my phone here. What is this? Where are we? It's like we're inside the haunted house. Even if we can't inspect the real location itself, how is it that we have blueprints? How is it that we have details? Like the night here, the torch there. All right, anyway, I don't know. We got to work with this, I guess. The path to the truth slumbers here. If I can successfully navigate my way using logic, I'll ultimately arrive at the truth. Now then, I believe I'm ready to investigate the crime scene. Which we are not doing. Okay, what should I recreate first? You haven't figured it out yet? Oh, Edgeworth. Yeah, maybe I have and maybe I haven't, but I'm going to make you do all the hard work. Very well. I'd like to inspect the moment in which I was ambushed by my abductor. I wonder how Edgeworth thinks in his mind this technology works. The two of them were definitely in this place at that time. If I can verify that, it may provide me with a new... You can't verify anything through this. It's only a leap of logic with your existing knowledge. But, alright. I had just come out into the hallway. I'm like, maybe that's exactly what we'll do. It's just that it's people, it feels like people are kind of expecting these much bigger kind of knowledge leaps than what this could theoretically provide. I had just come out into the hallway after leaving the money inside the dining room. I wish we could... Yeah, I feel like they're not going to show us the whole blueprints of this place. Because again, like I said before, it kind of feels like what we've seen of this place is... what we have seen of this place, at least us, the players playing this game, is a dining room and a hallway. And I would sure hope that a house of... horrors, mirrors, or anything like that was a little bit more extensive than this. At that time, I saw a badger slumped over on the floor at the end of the hall. Now, obviously that right there could be our murder victim. That could be the victim. You know, they've just been killed here, and Edgeworth walks in, so Lance doesn't have time to get rid of the body. Anything like that. If it is in fact Lance, I'm still really, really suspicious of Mr. Amano. Like, what if Mr. Amano sent Edgeworth here and himself came to observe or do something else or involve himself in some way, but either way was observing, and then intervened, killed Deacon, and then Lance kind of, I suppose, discovers Deacon, and then just has to deal with the situation, you know, but didn't actually murder him himself. I don't know, you know, I'm entertaining this. At the time I saw a badger slumped over on the floor at the end of the hall. What was a badger doing all the way down there? I also thought it strange. However, I thought that maybe it was simply a mannequin that was set there for atmosphere. Do you know which badger it was? No, it was too dark to tell. Alright, he says it's too dark to tell, but I'm just having a look. I mean, it looks like it's got the stripe. It looks like it's got the belt across the front. That said, it goes in the other direction. So I was going to say it could be the blue badger. There's no detail in the head. There's no real differences in the head that we would be able to see from here. Maybe apart from the bow not being there. We can't see the face, I don't think. But it does look like there's something going across. But yeah, it looks like it's going across the body in the wrong direction, and it could actually be it's not a part of the costume, it's something that the badger is holding, or it's resting there in front of them. But I'm gonna entertain that could very well. Also, hang on, does it actually have 3? Doesn't look like the horns are quite right, but I guess it does. You can see the three kind of bulbs there. They're just pointed in a slightly odd direction. Okay. My best guess right now is blue badger. In that case, I guess I'll just program a badger silhouette in for now. Okay, programming complete. I mean, even programming a silhouette is a lot of work, honestly. Then I started walking towards the exit. And that's when you were struck from behind, right? Okay, so B for badger, E for Edgeworth, A for arch nemesis. But that's odd. The hallway is a dead end. Where did your assailant come from? There is only one location I can think of. I believe my assailant was lying in wait here. Or the badger, right? Because we literally saw them.
Take that!
That doll I saw wasn't really a doll. It was in fact a costumed kidnapper. Oh, so he used the costume as the perfect camouflage to blend in with the rest of the house. Precise. You know, I actually just realized that goes against what I was my own theory before. I forgot that, like, I remembered that we had seen a badger. The detail I couldn't remember is if the badger like, I knew that we didn't see both badgers, you know what I mean? We didn't see the one with the creepy one that was standing behind us at the same time as seeing the slumped over one in the background. But what I thought is that the creepy one in the background could, and it still might be the case, might have been in front of our view, obscuring whether or not the one at the background was there. So that's why I was and / kind of am still entertaining, you know, the possibility that the one at the back is genuinely the dead body of Mr. Deacon, And there was a separate one in the proto-badger costume that hit us on the back of the head and came from behind a trick wall. But then again, I guess since we have the blueprints, it would show a trick wall. I don't know. Probably. Precisely. He waited until I had made the drop-off and was about to leave. Then, just as he saw me take a step towards the exit, he stood and launched his attack. I can think of no better hiding place than this. Hey, not bad. I'm beginning to think I should steal this tactic for myself. Just don't use it to do anything criminal, okay? And also, it would probably only work in a theme park setting. So, where you can have a random thing. And probably specifically like a kind of a horror situation. You know, like a theme park, House of Mirrors, House of Horrors type, haunted house type thing. It's pretty much the only time it would work. Well, Lance? What? What are you asking me for? As one of the kidnappers, I figured I should give you the chance to confess first. I was one of the kidnappers, but I don't know anything. I did come up to the haunted house, but I never set foot inside. I left Oliver in charge of picking up the ransom money. He didn't set foot inside. Is he telling the truth, or is this another lie? I mean, at the moment I believe him, and I don't think Lance is the killer. I think Mr. Amano is the killer. And Mr. Amano is pretending he's so concerned for his son, but he is concerned for himself. That's why he sent us instead of dealing with this himself. But that does raise the question, like, why is this even happening in the first place? What is the bigger picture here with the relationship between Deacon and Mr. Amano? That I don't know. Alright, then you're claiming that it was Mr. Deacon who assaulted me. Yes, I'm sure it was him. No, it was not. Okay, inputting the new info now. Mr. Deacon was the bad badger, right? It was not the bad badger. Listen to me, Edgeworth. I saw with my own 2 eyes. I can go back to the title screen right now and show you. It was not him. It was the proto-badger. Since the bad badger has a gun attached to its right hand... Oh, and by the way, this makes perfect sense. The fact that Mr. Amano was the one who got in the proto-badger costume and, killed Mr. Deacon. I mean, he might not have been in the costume when he killed Mr. Deacon, but either way, he killed Deacon, he killed the butler, and then got in the costume to hide his identity, whacked us over the head, and I don't know how this all connects to Lance. With Lance, probably, really get the impression Lance genuinely doesn't know. I don't think Lance is like in cahoots with his father. It could be that his father sort of then talked with Lance and said, hey, I've just killed someone, you've got to deal with the body and, blah, 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 pin this on, what's her face? But probably it's just that Lance found himself with a dead body to deal with. Either way, where I was going with this was to say, if the father is the one who did all of this, it makes a ton of sense then how he knew exactly where to pick up this costume, because he himself threw the costume away. Though actually what I'm thinking to myself is that the costume that was in the river, that was that was this one, wasn't it? That was the victim's costume. Not the actual proto-badger costume. Okay, no, never mind throwing that out. I thought that was a clever thought, but it wasn't. Since the bad badger has a gun attached to its right hand, I'll have to change it so the weapon is in its left hand. So, like maybe this is how they eliminate the possibility that it was Deacon. Now to verify the facts of this recreation. I'm sure that that's going to be the sticking point, that Deacon was right-handed. Oh, we're walking around. Okay, alright, great. You didn't recreate the weapon. Well, I can't exactly recreate something I know nothing about. It looks like a lightsaber. So tell me, what were you hit with? The attack came from behind, so I have no idea, but I doubt it was from someone's bare hands. Okay, then where were you hit? I was hit on the right side of my head, just above my temple. Oh. There was a bit of blood, but it wasn't anything serious. Ouch, sounds painful. Well, until you get checked out by a medical professional, Edgeworth, I don't know if you're in a great position to say what's serious or not with a head wound. Why are you smoking? Maybe if you didn't have this head wound, you would have solved the case by now. Why are you smoking like that when you say it? It's just your imagination. Now let's see. I wonder if there's anything in the hallway that could have been used as a weapon. Maybe the big thing sticking out. I'm looking for something the culprit could have used to hit you with. I mean, we literally did see this in the very first scene. And it's, for all I know, it's probably, I've forgotten, it's probably in that image that we can see in the title screen if we were to go back to it. Oh, so you want us to present this?
Take that!
I have it. There was indeed one such object lying here in the hallway. A prop sword. Are you talking about this thing here? Yes. Although we did find it at the kidnapper's hideout. Wait, yes, it's possible that the culprit took it with him after using it on me. To leave no evidence behind, right? Correct. It may be worth a more thorough examination yet. Oh, finally, we should be examining things. Oh man, I only have one, I think this is something, isn't it? So what test do you want to run with this sword? We can probably do both here. I don't think anyone will be an incorrect answer, but I have just noticed that I only have one bar. I only have one little bar to play with before I get a game over. What was the luminol again? I've forgotten. What was the luminol again? I don't think we want to test with prints because they were wearing costumes, so let's test with luminol. The culprit was wearing a costume at the time, so a fingerprint, yeah, that's what I thought, a fingerprint analysis is useless, I'm right about that. Let's run a luminol test. It's possible that some of my blood found its way onto this. So that'll tell us I don't know what it'll tell us. Because we already know that you were hit on the right side of your head. Which, I don't know how much that discounts the possibility that the killer was holding something in his right hand or left hand. And this handed thing is all based on the fact that they're assuming it was the Bad Badger costume, which it was not. So maybe that's where we're going with this. Agent Lang, may I ask for your cooperation in this matter? Like I have a choice. Shiner, call the lab boys. Understood. We don't need the lab boys. We have a lab woman. In the park. Except for a dab on the left side, it would appear that the blade is spotless. So it must have been on the left side of the prop sword that hit you then. Culprit hit me in the right temple area with this. Okay, I'll update the recreation with this new piece of info. I won't rest until... okay. We're doing a deduction. Well, we'll have to do this deduction in the next episode, because I've got to finish this one up here. But thank you so much for watching. This is a really interesting part of the game, getting to do this kind of analysis, actually. Although I'm sort of like poo-pooing the kind of the science of it to a certain degree. This is actually really fun. I'm really having a good time with this. And I hope that we get a chance to look around a lot more, actually. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.